friend. Today I'm going to talk to you about my Accutane journey. It is crazy to me that this was actually 10 years ago. I started Accutane on January of 2010, and so it's actually a little more than 10 years ago because we're a couple months past January. But yeah, I just want to enlighten you on my journey through this. I know it's a very controversial medication, and any information that can be brought to this is definitely going to be useful. I really want my videos to add value to your life and that provide useful information. I feel like we all have certain topics that we feel like we are pretty knowledgeable on, and honestly skincare for me is one of them, just due to all the stuff that I've been through in the past 10 years. I feel like I'm finally at a place where I'm really happy with how my skin looks, and I just want to let you know how I got there, and Accutane was certainly part of that journey. Knowledge truly is power, and I feel like I would be doing a disservice to not share my knowledge in this situation. Any information that you can gather on this medication I feel like is vital in that decision-making process. Obviously, at the end of the day, this is going to be a decision between you and your doctor and or a dermatologist, but I feel like outside opinions, outside of the medical world, are also helpful. Me and many other people on YouTube have filmed their experiences all the way through with Accutane. Obviously, your doctor and dermatologist's opinions are going to be the most important, but as I said, it's always nice to hear the experiences of the people who have actually been on it themselves. So first I want to read a definition on what exactly Accutane is, so I'm giving accurate information to you guys. So Accutane is a form of vitamin A. It reduces the amount of oil released by oil glands in your skin and helps your skin renew itself more quickly, and therefore minimizes acne over time. It is usually given after other acne medicines or antibiotics have been tried without successful treatment of symptoms. So yeah, I would say Accutane definitely is more of a last resort for most people, but if you know your acne is bad enough, your dermatologist / doctor will probably agree to allowing you to take this route. I'm really glad that I did. There are so many things that you can try before taking this route, you know, topicals, benzoyl peroxide, retin-A creams. You know, if you've been doing research, I'm sure these things all ring a bell for you. And I don't know, I just feel like sometimes topicals just aren't enough. There needs to be an internal solution, and I feel like that's where I got to. Just nothing was working, and this finally did the trick for me. Keep in mind that Accutane is definitely a gradual process. You're not going to see results overnight. Some people actually, it gets a little bit worse before it gets better, and this is apparently normal. So yeah, don't fret. So without further ado, I will tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly of Accutane and whether it is worth it or not. So let's just start back from the beginning. At around age 15, my acne just kept getting worse and worse, and it was just becoming more concerning for me. Obviously, it's your face. It's something that you see every day. It's something that everyone else sees every day, and it does take a toll on your self-esteem. So it was really important to me to take the steps to get rid of it, essentially. I finally went to my dermatologist, and she suggested that I go on Accutane, so I did from January 2010 to, I believe, at least August 2010, which I'm pretty sure is a long time for Accutane. I feel like the usual sessions are a bit shorter than that, but honestly, it's very personal. Like, it really depends on the severity of your acne, and then there's also dosages. I don't remember the exact dose I was on, but that's something your doctor would decide anyway. It's not like you sit there and say, oh, I want this dose. Your doctor will make that decision for you, so that doesn't really matter. Something very important to note is that you have to be on a reliable source of birth control while you're on Accutane. So most of the time, this is the birth control pill. So I was put on Yaz in 2010 when I went on Accutane. This was not really an optional thing, because if you were to become pregnant on Accutane, you would have a baby with severe deformities. So this obviously needs to be avoided at all costs, which is why they put you on birth control. On top of the fact that birth control does help skin, I also just wanted to talk about the blood tests that happen for Accutane. There is a blood test you have to do before starting Accutane, and I'm just going to read some actual scientific information regarding this because I don't want to screw up that information. So before starting Accutane, you will need to have a blood test to check that your lipids, cholesterol and triglyceride, kidney, and liver function are normal. I just wanted to get the information as to why you do a blood test before starting Accutane correctly. to make sure that I am giving you the most accurate information possible. And depending on your doctor, you may have to do more routine blood tests just to make sure that everything is going well and your body is reacting okay to the Accutane. And now I'll just talk to you about some of the side effects that I experienced. The number one side effect you're 100% going to experience is dry skin and dry lips, and that is because the entire purpose of Accutane is to dry out your skin to stop sebum and oil glands from overproducing. You will 100% experience dry skin and lips. To what severity, it really depends on the person. It's all manageable with certain products like Aquaphor moisturizer and Aquaphor lip products and stuff like that. It really is all manageable, especially for the results that you'll get in the end. You will also experience extreme sun sensitivity. I'm already super pale and sensitive to the sun, so this just made it so much worse. I went to Cuba in the last part of my Accutane journey. I think it was like on the last month or something. So some reason I thought I was Superwoman or something. I literally ended up with, like, I'm not even kidding, like blisters up to here. Like, they were so big and disgusting. Yeah, there was literally like a ton here and a ton here. It was so bad, but yeah, I obviously was wearing sunscreen, but it doesn't matter. Accutane just for some reason makes you super sensitive to the sun. And if you're already super sensitive to the sun, it's just like an accident waiting to happen. So either stay in the shade or stay inside. I don't know what to tell you, but obviously that small adjustment is definitely worth making. Accutane is also very harsh on your liver, so it's recommended that you do not mix it with alcohol. I was only 15 at the time, so this wasn't really a concern for me. I know some people did drink at that age, but I really wasn't interested at that point, so this didn't really affect my life. But yeah, if you do choose to drink on this, know that there could be adverse side effects, and I definitely would not. I know people that have drank on it, but I personally didn't, and yeah, I just felt better with that, seeing as that is the recommendations from the doctor, is to not drink. Accutane's already very harsh on your body, so I wanted to take whatever precautions I could to ensure that it would have the minimal damage. Now, one of the more serious potential side effects is mental health, namely depression. For me, I was definitely down in this period of my life, but I wouldn't say it was serious enough to deem it as depression. I never went to the doctor for this or anything, and it really could have been having acne itself and my self-esteem issues at that time that could have been like the result of me feeling sad and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't think it was that serious for me. But yeah, there obviously have been cases because this is a warning for side effects for the medication. So this is definitely something to talk to your doctor about if you do have concerns about it. That's probably the biggest concern people do have with this medication, is this potential side effect. It really is just up to you and your doctor and potentially your parents, if you're consulting with them too, to decide, you know, the pros and cons, what is worth it, and that kind of thing. So in the first few months, there wasn't like intense changes or anything like that, but slowly but surely it did start to get better and better and better. So it was definitely worth the side effects that I did experience. Again, some people have absolutely terrible experiences on Accutane, and I'm sure you could listen to their stories on YouTube as well, but I'm just here telling you my experience, and it did end up having positive results. There definitely was some side effects that weren't amazing, but yeah. Now I'm going to talk about my concerns today, 10 years later. So I definitely do still have some scarring, especially right here. I'll insert some clips of me with no makeup because this is really not doing my bare skin any justice. Hey guys, so I just wanted to give you a more up close look at my skin with no makeup. You can see there's just like a bit of scarring here. That's like the longest term, it just like will not go away. And then this was from a recent pimple, and it just, like I was saying, there's just like, it's like a spot that will go away. It's not actually a scar, but the spot, like that's not, it's completely flat. It just like will not go away immediately. This is from something recent too. So yeah, I got like 1 or 2 pimples, and then the rest of my skin is pretty clear. And yeah, that's what it looks like. So the scarring is definitely a concern, but had I not gone on it when I did, I feel like there would just be more acne, aka more permanent scarring. So I'm glad that I went on it when I did. I feel like the regret with Accutane for a lot of people is just not going on it sooner to, you know, prevent permanent scarring. There definitely are treatments that you can do, like laser treatments, and there's this thing called Bellafill. I think it is a Juvederm filler, so it like goes under the skin and like plumps it up. I'm actually going to look into that because it's been 10 years and there's just still a bit of imperfections, and if I can fix it, why not? One of my biggest concerns is finally coming off birth control in about 4 years. I'll be 30, which is crazy. Next month I'll be 26. But anyways, when I'm 30, you know, I'll probably start wanting to think about starting a family, having kids, that kind of thing, so I will have to go off birth control. And this is definitely a fear for me. There is certain situations where women come off birth control and then their testosterone levels rise, and it makes it very hard for your hormones to balance naturally, and then in which case acne flares up. I feel like having acne in my youth was just a really bad experience for me, so the thought of coming off of birth control at age 30 and then potentially getting acne again is a little bit terrifying. There are definitely worse things that could happen to you in life, and I know that with, you know, some preparation, I can try to avoid this to the best of my ability. I will probably consult a naturopath at the time and, you know, incorporate supplements that will help naturally balance my hormones. They say birth control really is just kind of like a band-aid on the root of the problem. At the age of 15, Accutane and birth control just was the easiest thing that I could do for surefire results. At 30, I will have to deal with the root of the problem if there still is any remaining hormone imbalances or anything like that. So yes, that definitely is a fear of mine and concern. As I said, I was put on birth control with Accutane by recommendation of the doctor, and it was a personal choice to stay on it afterwards. Obviously, I did not have to stay on the pill for 10 years. That was my own decision. I definitely am scared to get off birth control at age 30 to see how my skin reacts, because I'm very happy with how it looks right now. To have all that hard work to have good skin go to waste potentially really does scare me, but we will just have to see what happens. There's no sense in stressing over something that we don't even know will happen. So in conclusion, on this point, I am a bit stressed for 4 years from now when I do go off birth control, but does that make the last 10 years of clear skin not worth it? Absolutely not. It was definitely worth it for me to do this. Had I not gone on it when I did, as I said, more acne could have formed and therefore more lifelong potential scarring. So in conclusion, this definitely needs to be a decision you make with your doctor and maybe potentially your parents depending on your age. I'm obviously not a doctor and I'm only coming and speaking from my experiences. And was the entire experience of Accutane and its symptoms sunshine, butterflies, and rainbows? Absolutely not. The pros definitely outweighed the cons in the long term for me. I've had clear skin for many years now, and you know, there were definitely some crappy symptoms at the time, but that's a short period of your time and then you get long-term great results. Again, that's my experience. I know some people do not have this experience. I know some people have had terrible experiences, but I think the majority of the people do have great experiences, and I am one of those people. So yeah, do your research, talk with your doctor, talk with your parents, and you know, view a bunch of these other videos. There's tons of them on YouTube, people sharing their experiences, and the more you know, the better. I personally have no regrets going on Accutane, and I really hope that my information will help make your decision if this is something you've been considering. I also just wanted to touch on the current state of my skin and how I feel about it. I rarely break out anymore, you know, I get the occasional pimple. Unfortunately, my skin is the type to scar easily, so if I get, you know, like one bad pimple, that mark will stay there for quite a long time. Not like a deep scar like the ones from 10 years ago, but you know, those marks do stay there a little longer. I'm not sure if this is just the skin type I have or if I'm just really pale so it shows up super intensely. Anyways, those are just things that I have to deal with, and through all this in the last 10 years I've had to develop a skincare routine for extremely sensitive skin. That is the type of skin that I have, and I've just learned to deal with it. For me personally, I feel like the less complicated the routine, the better. The more intense and abrasive cleansers and moisturizers, etc., those just do not work for me and my skin type because it is very sensitive and very prone to just turning red and that kind of thing. So in a future video, I can definitely discuss the products that have worked for me, and those are the products that continue to keep my skin clear and happy. So yes, that is a current update on my skin. I'm very happy with the way it looks. There are definitely some imperfections, but everyone's skin has imperfections. If you guys have any questions about Accutane or skincare or anything similar, please leave them in the comments and I'll be happy to chat with you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing day and see you next time.